What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pitts Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live. Listen, it's going down, all things HBCUs. And who else better to start it off with them Bowie State Bulldogs? We coming to you, Bowie State Bulldogs, total access. We got the Morgan State Bears. Listen, all HBCUs information, all HBCU news, sporting events, updates. You get it live here with Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Comcast Channel 77, Verizon Channel 11 is going down. Don't you miss a beat. Listen, it's only the beginning because it's early still. And we're going to be here all day. All day. Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing, man? It's your boy Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live with another episode, another interview for the 2025 HBCU Legacy Bowl. And who other than my guy, E40, Erick Hunter, Morgan State University linebacker. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, man. God is good.
Hey, all the time.
You know it.
All the time. One, man, I wanted to just first say again, congratulations, to give you your flowers, well-deserved, well-earned, and, definitely look forward to learning more for the viewers and listeners to learn a little bit more about you as you prepare for the upcoming bowl games that you've been invited to. But before we get started, definitely want to send another congratulations to, the American Bowl invite that you received for this January in Orlando. Again, true testament to all the work, the commitment, the dedication, the hard work that you put into it.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
So first, let's do some icebreakers. What's your favorite food?
I'd probably say salmon and French fries.
Salmon and French fries together?
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
Wait. So the combination. So listen, with me being from Pittsburgh, when I eat a salad, I put French fries in it. And I get side eyes. What's up? You gonna try the French fries in your salmon salad?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Also, if you can give me your favorite vacation or a dream destination.
To be honest with you, since I've been a kid, it's not really a place that I really desire to go. My ideal vacations have always been, traveling with my guys, going to AAU tournaments on like resorts, you know what I'm saying? Or like when I was playing youth ball, going to Florida, staying on resorts and going to play football. So I really like vacations that involve sports where I get to have like business trip vacations are my favorite type.
Okay, business trips. All right, so lastly, what is your favorite NFL team if you have one?
Wait, I'm sorry. One more time. I couldn't hear you. It broke up.
What's your favorite NFL team if you have one?
Well, I grew up a Commanders fan, but with the opportunity that I'm being blessed with right now, I mean, getting ready to go into this, NFL prep and everything, I'll say whatever team decides to pick me, man, that's gonna be the team that I'm with for life, So I grew up a Commanders fan for sure.
Absolutely, and 1,000% forward to understand your response. If you can, Erick, can you give us one memorable moment or a game that you had this year and why?
This year, I'm probably gonna go with just the last one. I know that one sticks out to me the most because I really did a lot of talking with God before the game and really just taking every single moment of that week and just really saying, I've had a great matriculation here at Morgan State, knowing that was going to be my last college football game, and God willing, not my last football game. I really wanted to make sure, which I always do, but I especially knew like that game I had to leave it all out there, and had a great opportunity to have a pretty good game, decent stat line, and first play of the game I was able to make a big play, just coming out excited, and it was definitely something that's going to forever be imprinted in my mind.
And if my memory serves me correctly, first play of the game was a fumble, correct?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Absolutely. So do you have any pre-game rituals or, movies, music anything of that nature, food that you feel you gotta have before a game?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it also depends on what time we play in the game too. So I got a routine that I do. If it's a late game, the routine I do. If it's a night game, I mean
Okay.
a morning game. But the most of all, the thing that stays consistent throughout the thing is when we get on the bus. I usually like to listen to slow jams the whole way on the bus. I don't like to get my blood pumping too much too early. I want my adrenaline going all day. I try to save it and just let it like get it pent up until it's time to go. So I'm listening to anywhere between Michael Jackson, Bryson Tiller, and Leon Thomas on the way to go to the game. And then once we arrive on the campus and I start seeing the university signs and wherever that is where we might be playing, that's when I go ahead and ramp it up a little bit and start, listening to my little babies and all those things.
Yeah, definitely get the when you say get that energy pent up. You don't want to get too turned, but you want to keep it going just enough so about it when it's time to, flip that switch and turn it up. You basically already did.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the selection experience because you were one of the first two players to be selected in this year's 2025 HBCU Legacy All-State Bowl Game. How did it feel when you first found out you were selected to the HBCU Legacy Bowl Game, and what were your emotions or thoughts?
No, it was biggest emotion was just grateful and just very thankful and excited and honored to be selected, not only but just be selected first, to be one of the first people they thought about to say, hey, we want to give you this honor to let you know, hey, we thinking about you first. We're going to bring you to this game first. We feel like you're one of the top guys in HBCU right now to just bring that. I mean, in my mind, I'm just a kid from District Heights that was just playing ball. My dad brought me into it, and to be able to, blossom into what I've become. I'm still very level-headed, very humble with it. And I know it, like I mentioned before, none of it is possible without God. So, that's what I keep my faith first and really just making sure that with all the blessings that have come, I never let him forget that I need him on my best days just as much as I needed him on my worst. So at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
I really feel as though I, I couldn't have been more honored and thankful. But with that, it's just the beginning and it's time to work.
Absolutely. You talk about the beginning. Let's talk about your journey and background. You said your dad got you into football. You're from District Heights. Can you
Mhm.
share a bit about your journey to college football and what motivated you to want to pursue that path?
Absolutely. I mean, I only played 2 years of high school ball. I didn't play my
Mm.
freshman year because thought I was a basketball guy. Um, Sophomore year, I was on JV. Junior year, I was able to get the opportunity to play varsity. And I mean, obviously, going to junior, you got to play varsity. But to play varsity, I was able to play three positions between wide receiver, quarterback, and defensive end.
Mm.
Off of my junior year tape, I was blessed enough to have Morgan State reach out to me with a couple of other schools to offer me a scholarship. Morgan State is what felt right the most. I did not have a senior year due to COVID-19. So that entire season was completely blank for me. So I
Okay.
went playing the 2019 season, my junior year, into COVID. Many schools saying, "Hey, we don't have really much roster space for you because a lot of guys are coming back." The transfer portal was just starting at this time, so everybody was trying to figure out how that worked, and it was a really tough recruitment for anybody that can say in the class of 2020, 2021, even a little bit of 2022. It was really tough, and you was in those range of graduation for high school. It was a little bit tough to get recruited at those moments, but I will say that like I said, I was blessed again to get that opportunity from Morgan State, and really all I needed was my foot in the door. So once I got to that, I was really big on believing, staying with who believes in me first. I had plenty of
Yeah.
opportunities, to maybe even transfer up. It was all about timing for me. It was all about timing and all about what felt right the most. And I was able to stay here and get the fruits of my labor that I did stay loyal and stay grinded too. But um, yeah, that's pretty much my recruitment process that's coming to Morgan.
Now, like when you talk about it, man, and it kind of replicates a lot of what other players who I've been able to interview and speak with as well. They talk about it's just being able to get that opportunity, and that's one thing that we all strive and ask for, in hopes of just getting the opportunity to showcase what we can do, showcase our work ethic, showcase our commitment, our dedication, etc. And as you said, all we need is a crack, and we can ajar the door by any means necessary in which direction, we ascend to take it. When you talk about an HBCU experience, How has being a part of an HBCU shaped your football career and your personal growth?
Well, I would start with my personal growth. Being honest with you, going to a HBCU wasn't necessarily on my bucket list. Coming out of college. To be honest with you, I wasn't really opposed or for the idea of going to one. But when I came here, seeing a lot of people, who looks like you, have similar ideas and like attainments. You got professors that's around the campus that understand you a little better. All those things. I don't have the experience of going to like a PWI or anything like that to compare to, but just my experience here has been nothing but lovely. I have no complaints about being here at Morgan State. It's been a great time here for me for the last 4.5 years. And to be honest with you, the only thing I can say that I wish out of this whole entire college journey is that we won a little bit more in the football realms of things. So, I mean, school wise, I was able to keep my grades good all the time. I was able to join an organization, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I had no issues the entire time I was here, housed well, made a lot of good friends and connections. I really have no complaints, really.
Yeah. If you can describe HBCUs in one word, what would it be?
Um, I would say family for sure. I mean, that's the closest thing that I can say that you could only use one word to describe it. It has to be family because, like I said, it's just that unity, that
Yeah.
HBCU pride. Even if it's not a thing where you're talking about the same school in a sense, you're still talking about another HBCU, whether it could be Morgan to Bowie or Central to Dale State or FAMU to Southern. Like it's just always you always understand each other when you have those talks. Hey, what is your HBCU like? What was your admissions office like? What was your financial aid like? It's always those talks that you can have and those experiences that you can relate to.
And I agree, man. One of the games that I did cover is when I went to the Dell State and Norfolk State game at the Philadelphia Eagles Stadium, and I think for me, what was the most exciting part about it was the fact that it really, really, really looked like all 107 HBCUs was represented. I mean, it was every university, and it was just the love, of the and the support to the game of the HBCU and the fact that they all came out. And I think that my hopes is that we can continue that regardless of who it is, whether it's the SWAC, the SEAC, the MEAC, or the CIAA. Is that we really can build on one, the exposure, when it comes to HBCUs, being able to get more exposure, more marquee games on marquee networks, sort of like, the Grambling, the Southern, how they do every year after Thanksgiving. But, I think it really showed that the presence, the attendance, and the competition is no different. And it should be celebrated just as much, if not, as equal as, the Power Fives. So when it comes to the HBC Legacy Bowl, that was an avenue that was created to give the opportunities that we don't get like some of the other Power Five schools. When it comes to the HBC Legacy Bowl, last year you had, for the last couple of years, you actually had the opportunity to play with Elijah. Elijah himself had an opportunity to go to the HBC Legacy Bowl. He showed out every day at practice. The game he showed out, where he was able to get that offer to go and practice with the Vikings. He went to the rookie mini camp. He got invited to training camp. And to a lot of other people who were surprised, but not to them who watched him over the years, him making a 53-man roster. Have you had conversations with him or, Toes or, Knock or any of the other guys, Lawrence, all of the guys that, you played with in the past that were able to attend the experience and give you some sort of advice?
Yeah, absolutely. And even to touch on Elijah, man, I talk to Elijah all the time. In fact, I probably just talked to him 2 days ago. And if you know Elijah, he's a very, very humble guy. He
Yeah.
stays pretty much to himself. He's a real good dude. And seeing him over the last few years is like, they talk about, when you talk about those programs who have people that's like Alabama, for example, you have those examples, those lineages of NFL guys coming out of that program all the time. So you get to sit and watch and, this is what we're going to do. This is what they did. So I'm going to do that. They're going to get extra lifts. I'm going to go get that extra lift. They're going to eat more. I'm going to go eat more. Those kind of things. It was almost like Elijah, along with a couple of other dudes with Carl and Caleb at the time, they started that here. And when I came in after them, that was something that I took after them and even expanded on it, because it's like those were the guys that I surrounded myself with. And to watch it grow, it shows, and to be able to follow behind those footsteps, I feel as though, I can definitely give them a piece of the credit of why I've blossomed the way I have as well.
Absolutely. When you talk goals and intentions, what are your main goals for the HBCU Legacy Bowl, and how do you plan to stand out?
Most definitely. I mean, like I said, I just really want to just put it on tape, to be honest with you. The biggest thing for me in the HBCU Legacy Bowl is not to do anything, that's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go execute my job. I'm going to do my job at a very high level consistently and put it on tape. Whenever the times comes for me to make that flashy play, I will make it. When the ball's on my head, it's about getting the ball on the ground, those kind of things, but not trying to do anything crazy outside the box. I want to just go there, get to meet the guys, other HBCU guys, make connections, have fun with it most of all, but really just go there and do my job at a very high level consistently.
Part of the process with the HBCU Legacy Bowl is that you get the opportunity to work out for the 32 NFL owners, scouts, and GMs, whoever is representing that organization. These are things that as a kid, I know you said you didn't start playing until you played 2 years of high school because you had a COVID year, your senior year. So for a lot of times, kids that look like us, whether they play 2 years or longer, one of the goals is always in our minds that we're talented enough, right? And we should believe in ourselves that way, but you have a moment and an opportunity to put it on tape for the ones that matter. How are you preparing for the NFL Combine part, and what specific skills and attributes are you hoping to showcase more of?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, since the season has ended, the biggest thing has been about recovery. You last 20 weeks, really, you've really just been going hard, banging against guys in practice and all those things. So immediately after the season, it's just been about recovery, getting my mobility, continuing that, doing a lot of going into the treatment room a lot, doing a lot of ultrasound contrast, all those kind of things. So that's the biggest thing that I've been focusing on right now. And then the rest of the things are going to come. I'm going to do what I've been doing, plus more, because that's what I want. I want more. I'm not preparing for college anymore. I'm preparing for the NFL. So that's what it will be. Yeah.
Absolutely. For the children, whom all over the world, who's struggling with identity, direction, those things, as far as what are they looking to do after high school? What would your advice or inspiration be to a younger athlete who's aspiring to follow similar footsteps?
Yeah. My biggest thing is, it's going to sound very cliche, but stay true to yourself. I'll tell you a quick story. And when I was in high school, and it was a lot of things that I used to do that used to come off a little unusual or strange to people, just as far as my work ethic. People used to go on me like, why are you doing that? Why are you here early? Why are you doing the extra? Guys at that time in a regular Division I athlete's mind, that's very normal. But to the guys or the peers that I was surrounding myself with in high school, it looked like I was doing too much, or like, look at him. And at the end of the day, I felt like in my mind, I understood what I wanted to be and what I needed to do to get there. So if it's something that somebody doesn't understand, but what you're doing and you understand why you're doing it, stay true to it. They'll look up one day and be like, dang, I remember when he used to X, Y, and Z. Now look, and they're going to really think in their mind like, dang, I should have, I could have, and I would have, but I didn't. So the biggest thing is just stay true to yourself.
Definitely great advice, man. It falls in line and is consistent, with some of the other advice that was given, which is not only stay true to the self, but, allow yourself grace. There's going to be times when you fall. Don't give in to what it looks like, but keep moving, keep having faith, keep pushing forward, and, allow the trials to become, your testimony. And the building on that adversity, building on your character and things of that nature, establishing a discipline within yourself that regardless of what the circumstances look and feel like, you're still able to operate as self and not feel like you have to operate outside of self just to get the results that some people may want. Not gonna hold you longer, man. Lastly, the last question I wanted to ask you, man, was future aspirations beyond the NFL football field. What are your long-term aspirations both on and off the field?
Yeah, absolutely. I say they asked me the same question. I remember last time they asked me this was at the MEAC Media Day, and
Mm,
the biggest thing for me is I just want to be happy wherever I'm at. I just feel like I've gone through a few things in life, and I realized mental health is the biggest thing of them all. As long as you're happy and whatever you're doing, I feel like you already are successful. So biggest thing wherever I'm at, I just want to be very happy. Um, as far as like things that I want to do after football is over, I'm a big music guy. I definitely want to
okay.
get into opening my own studio. I play 5 instruments. I do make
Okay.
beats. I do engineer music as well. I've done a couple film compositions and scores as well. So it's something I would love to expand on, most definitely.
And that's crazy because I was about to ask you, if you can take us away with a fun fact, and you just told us you play 5 instruments, you make beats, you compose mute, like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. And again, all the accolades that you've obtained over the years, well earned, well deserved. But I can't imagine at this moment that you have in front of you, not putting those aside, but the moment that you have in front of you is something that you're definitely taking head first, full of steam, as you have always done. And definitely grateful that you allowed me into the space, and over the years you welcomed and been open, and showing that love genuinely back, anytime we've crossed paths. So I definitely thank you
Most definitely.
as
I thank
much.
you as well, man.
So got to comment on the Instagram side where Coach Nemo Washington, offensive coordinator for Dell State, said, "Great player. Wish you the best going forward."
Mhm.
So, man, with that, I'm going to go ahead and take it out again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Erick Hunter, Morgan State University linebacker, also known as E40. It's going down 2025 HBCU Legacy Bowl. Eric was also invited to the 2026 American Bowl in Orlando in January. Thank you very much. Tune in tomorrow. Got a Tennessee State defensive end. Listen, all HBCUs, yes, I specifically, directly cover the Bowie States and the Morgan States, but showing love to all HBCUs is something that is very loud, something that we have to do in order to gain and basically force our own way in the door. We were, they're not going to come see us. We're going to force them to see us. So HBCU Legacy Bowl 2025, Erick Hunter. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.